Hey there, folks. I'm Matt Welch. I'm the sports editor here at Star Local Media. Week 3 of the high school football season is in the books. I'm just here to pass along a recap as to where I was at on Friday night. I was out in Allen, where the Eagles hosted Coppell in a meeting of state-ranked programs. A matchup that obviously has a little bit of history. Coppell, carrying the mantle of being the last team to defeat Allen in the regular season, all the way back in 2012. And just in general, Coppell tends to play Allen fairly close, and tonight was no different. A back and forth game all the way through. Ultimately, Allen is able to pull away late in the fourth quarter and take a 35-23 victory over the Cowboys to improve to 3-0 on the season. Coppell drops to 2-1. Now, heading into this game, a lot had been made about just the progression of Allen's offense. The Eagles were a little bit slower out of the gates on that side of the ball. Ultimately, though, they take a big step forward in that phase on Friday. They totaled 469 yards of offense, and the big play was Allen's MO in this one. Of their first 4 scoring drives, they combined for just 14 plays run in those 4 scoring drives, specifically through the air. Grant Tisdale, if you got to see Grant Tisdale play last season when he was Allen's backup quarterback, it didn't take long to realize that despite his age only being a sophomore at the time, he throws an impressive deep ball. That is probably the biggest weapon in his arsenal, and that was on display on Friday. He has 3 touchdown passes. He has a 67-yard touchdown pass to Carson Schlecker. He hits Theo Weiss for touchdown passes of 49 and 31 yards. On the whole, Tisdale throws for 204 yards on an efficient 10 of 14 passing. On the ground, Brock Sturgis added 157 and 2 touchdowns. Allen was, the big play was kind of what set the tone for Allen, helped them get a lead for the majority of this contest. Ultimately, though, the drive of the game, kind of the sequence of the game, was midway through the fourth quarter. Coppell closes the gap to 28-23 on a field goal. As a quick aside, kind of a bit of a debatable drive by Coppell. Now, Coppell was in Allen territory. Initially, Coppell goes for it on 4th and 9 from Allen's 40. So a pretty gutsy call, no less. They convert it, move inside the red zone. They eventually are faced with 4th and 5 from Allen's 16, but ultimately decide to kick the field goal and to basically saying, we're gonna put this one on our defense and trust they can get the ball back. Now, it's a pretty risky bet, considering that Allen is kind of tailor-made to take over games in the fourth quarter when their depth really begins to take hold, and that wound up being the case. Allen responds with a 13-play, 75-yard drive that bleeds away nearly 5 minutes of game clock. Brock Sturgis caps the drive with a 9-yard touchdown run to give Allen the aforementioned 35-23 lead, and they were able to hold on from there. Ultimately, though, this was a very competitive game, a very back-and-forth game. Coppell even led for a few moments in the first half. They got the game's first points on a 51-yard field goal by Caden Davis. They took a 10-7 lead later on, early in the second quarter, after quarterback Brady McBride hits Gabe Lemons for a 28-yard touchdown. This was a one-score game all the way through until Sturgis was able to put it away in the fourth. Ultimately, though, when you look at what this came down to, Coppell was able to move the ball. First off, they were able to rack up 317 yards of offense, which, when you consider that Allen came into this game only allowing 171.5 yards per game, that's a solid night for the Coppell offense, especially after they had a bit of a down night moving the ball the week prior against McKinney Boyd. Brady McBride throws for 151 yards passing. Ryan Hurt, the running back, he gets 89 yards rushing, and was just in general a really tough tackle for the Allen defense on the night. But they were able to move the ball. It's just when you look at the score, you see that Allen 35 points. They score 5 touchdowns. Coppell scored 5 times as well, except 2 touchdowns. and 3 field goals. You're going to have to obviously take some chances when you're against a team like Allen, especially in their house. Ultimately, though, Coppell just not able to convert enough of those opportunities in Allen territory into touchdowns. But still a positive non-district campaign for Coppell. Coppell goes 2-1. Allen 3-0. Both teams now hit their bye and begin district play in 2 weeks. On another note, Allen was a little shorthanded tonight. Allen, especially up front, Allen offensive linemen Trace Stratford and Mason Grosser were injured for this game, as was linebacker Jace Waters. So Allen playing a little bit shorthanded, but they did get some good contributions from Jack Topping and Caleb Basinger. They filled in admirably up front to help Allen's offense not miss a beat on the night. So Allen playing a little banged up in the moment, but ultimately the Eagles are still undefeated, enter the bye with some momentum, and now begin preparations for their district opener against McKinney Boyd. Coppell plays Jesuit in its district opener in 2 weeks. So that is where I was at on Friday night. A great game. It's always going to be a fun game whenever it's a one-score game in a game against Allen in the fourth quarter. So but it was a good time to cover it. If you would like to check out my story, you can go to starlocalsports.com. The story's there. I even took a couple video highlights of the late Brock Sturgis touchdown plus one of the Theo Weiss touchdown receptions if you want to view those. But folks, hey, I appreciate y'all watching. Have a great weekend.